Hi guys, and welcome to episode 26 of Auntie Danny Knits. I'm Danny, and I'll be talking to you about knitting. I feel like I'm failing with the intros these days. I don't know what's up with that. And I'm just realizing you get some wall over in the corner. That's fine. I'm downstairs today recording. You're probably going to hear lots of little feet flopping around. The puppies are loose because it is storming out and they're a little bit freaked out. So I'm letting them run loose at my feet and I'm recording downstairs so that they're not locked up out of the way. So there may be lots of little feet going around. If there's like crazy barking or, doggy rumbles, I will stop the recording and not make you listen to that. But we're gonna try it. And so let's get started with what I finished. So it's been probably about 3 weeks or so since I last recorded, and I finished some stuff, so I'm excited. The first thing I finished, I'm calling these my patriotic socks. These are just a basic fish lips kiss heel, and I just did a rolled cuff because I was lazy and I didn't feel like doing ribbing, and that's okay because they're my socks and I can do what I want. So this is done with Lollipop yarn. This is the traditional base in the color Yankee Doodle, and I ended up using 41 grams for this set of socks because I have tiny feet. And it was a 100-gram skein or ball, so I can definitely get another pair of these if I want. What I may end up doing is a set of hand warmers, which I'm not wearing today because I didn't feel like it. Well, no, I've been wearing them all day, but the ones that I've been wearing kind of didn't quite match the sweater that I'm wearing now. So anyway, these are my latest finished pair of socks and I'm really excited about them. So now that I've shown them, they're going to go into the drawer and be worn. The next thing I've actually been wearing like crazy, so they're not going to look quite as nice as they did when I first finished them. There's actually already a bunch of pilling and oops, but that's because I've been wearing these like every day. These are the Palmistry Mitts by Stephanie Lotvin. It is a paid pattern on Ravelry, I believe. I did the adult small size and I used the needles it called for in the pattern for my size, which was a US 1 and a US 2. And it turns out my hands are smaller than an adult small, so I think when I do these again, because it's not an if, it's a when, I really enjoyed these and I like how they fit. They're just a slight bit big on me. You can see on the blockers even they're a little bit bigger than the blocker, and not a whole lot, but I like my hand warmers to fit tightly. So I think I will actually go down to the child large size maybe, or what I may do is go down a needle size. Actually going down a needle size will probably be my first choice. But these were knit. This is what the backs look like. I used, again, Lollipop yarn, the traditional base in the color Whisker Lickens. Sorry about the puppy. She's being needy. And yeah, it's super cute. And I used 23 grams, so not a whole lot of this either, which means that I've got plenty left and I'll probably make myself a pair of socks out of this at some point because I like the colors, but I really like them. They go nicely with the navy scrubs that I have to wear at work. We have a choice between navy and royal, and these go nicely with the navy. With the royal, it's a little bit but honestly, I don't care. If they keep my hands warm and they're comfy, I'm gonna wear them. But I don't know where I was going with that. I like these. Like I said, you can sort of see already the wear and the pilling. They've already been washed twice because I wear them. I've been wearing these every day. I really like them. So if you're looking for a good pair of hand warmers, I recommend these. It was a little bit different construction for the thumb gusset. You can see that it builds on just one side. I think that's why she calls it the palmistry, because it builds on the palm of your hand. But I was concerned about how it was going to fit, but it fits really nicely. So I highly recommend these if you're someone who likes to wear hand warmers or fingerless mitts. This is a good pair. And then the next two things that I finished were both test knits. So one of them I talked about before, but it wasn't released, so I couldn't fully talk about it. But this is it. This, oh, it is so soft. This is the Apiarist Cowl by Claire Borchert, who is Ottoman Indigo. and oh, it's so floofy. There are little bits of mohair everywhere. This was using the Ottoman Indigo Classic DK and the Ottoman Indigo Posh Lace, both in the color Finley. So I used a full skein of the DK and half a skein of the lace, and the lace is a merino silk blend, and it's so soft. It's so floofy. I really like this. The only thing is I live in a hot place, so I want to keep it and I want to wear it all the time, but I'm never going to wear it because it's not going to be cold enough. So there's a very good chance that this will end up going to my mom or my sister because they live somewhere that is cold, and it'll get worn and loved like that. But there's still a chance that I'm going to just keep it for myself. But it's lovely. It's this honeycomb sort of patterning. It was a very easy pattern to follow. Nothing crazy about it, but it was fun to knit. It didn't take long. I think I finished it, I finished it in 3 days. Now, granted, it was the only thing that I knit on while I was knitting on it. But it's just nice. And the inside, even the inside is pretty. Ignore my weaving in because I still have ends sticking out. I haven't trimmed those yet. But the inside looks pretty too. So if they wore it inside out, it wouldn't be a big deal. So yeah, that is the Apiarist Cowl by Claire Borchert, and I really, really like it. And I really like the Ottoman Indigo yarn. I'd never used it before. This is my first time using it. And her DK, it was so soft and squishy, you guys. Like, I want to knit everything with her DK yarn. Except I don't have a lot of DK patterns, at least not that I can think of off the top of my head. But man, next time I have a DK pattern, I'm going for her stuff first, because this was just delightful to work with. Absolutely delightful. So the next thing that I finished is another test knit. This was by Mary of Kino Knits, and if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw them. But I finished the Twiga mittens. They're full mittens, full finger, full thumb. I guess not finger, full hand, closed up at the top, not fingerless mitts. But look at them! They've got little giraffes on them and trees, and the thumbs have giraffes on them and a little tree. And I love the pattern on the palm. It's so nice. Oh, they're comfy. My sister has already said she wants a pair. And it was cute because she commented on my Instagram post, because that's what she does. Said, I want these. And I love that Mary responded with when the pattern was going to be released. And my sister called me up later and she's like, your friend doesn't know who I am, does she? I'm like, no. Yeah, there's no way I'm knitting these. You're knitting them for me. I'm like, yeah, I am. But I've got, she wants them in blue and pink. And I have some blue and pink sparkle yarn. So she's going to get blue and pink sparkly giraffe mitts because I love my sister. Plus, I'm not going to see her for like months, so I've got lots of time to get them done. But these were so much fun. Like, they just flew. There's something about color work. The dogs have opinions too. But something about color work is just amazing to me. I love it, especially a small thing like this. So you can see a little bit of my tension still needs work. I'm not super experienced at color work, but I think it turned out nicely. And of course the test is to show you the inside. So let me flip one of these inside out to show you. And again, pardon the ends. The way I like to do my weaving in is I will weave in the ends initially, but leave them long, and then block whatever it is, and then go back later and maybe trim the ends. And sometimes I just don't trim them at all. But there's my floats. That's the palm and that's the back of the hand. So it's actually not too bad. I'm getting the hang of it, I think. And I do my color work two-handed, and that seems to work really well for me because I learned English, and then I taught myself Continental later. I started as a picker and now I'm a thrower. No, I started as a thrower, now I'm a picker. But that means that I can do it both ways. So I've got one color in each hand and it goes really nice and quick. So yeah, that's that. And I'm super happy with these. And rumor has it that she's going to have some further designs in this series, which works out really well because I only used like a third of a skein of the yellow and a quarter of the skein of the orange to do these. So I can do more pairs. And the yarn, I should tell you what the yarn is. I used Cascade Yarns Heritage Lemon is the yellow, and Cascade Yarns Heritage Wave in Solar for the orange. And if you look, you can see that they're not the same color because that Solar is a gradient. The Heritage Yarn Wave is a gradient. So if I held it like this, that's the direction I knit the gradient, but it's close enough. And when they're on two separate hands, you have to be paying really close attention to notice that. So I'm not too concerned about it. I still love them. I'm excited. So there's that. And then the last thing I finished is actually some spinning. And I started this a long time ago. So this is a loop bullseye bump in the color Moroccan Medina. It was 5.8 grams and it's got all these lovely things. It's that merino nylon and Angelina. So it's super fun. And I started this a while back, but I really just set it aside. I didn't work on it for months. Like a lot of months. like maybe close to a year. No, it couldn't have been that long. No, I started it in like March. And then I stopped because I got distracted with other things and I knit a lot. And then when True to Fleece started, I'm like, I've got this sitting on my wheel. I'm gonna finish it. Someone's not impressed with me talking about my fleece. But no, I finished it. So this is, I did a chain ply. So I spun the whole thing into a giant long single, and it took like so much space on my bobbin. It was a little bit crazy. But then I put it on my Kate, and I just chain plied the whole thing. I don't know, it's a little bit overspun in some places, but I'm okay with that. And I'm saying it's probably about a worsted-ish weight, and I got about 250 yards. So that's not bad, 250 yards of a worsted-ish. Some of it might be a little bit thicker, Erin. Definitely not bulky, I don't think. Although maybe there are a couple of places that it's vaguely approaching bulky. But yeah, I'm happy with it. These aren't my usual colors, but that's okay, because it's going to be someone's colors and I'm going to find something amazing. Actually, I think I already know what I want to do with it. I think I want to do Dotted Rays by Stephen West. I think that's what I want to use this yarn for and make the shawl, but I have to go look at the yardage and stuff and see if I can do it with worsted, see if I can do it with 250 yards of worsted. That'll be the trick. And if I can't, I'll figure something else out. But it's a bullseye bump, so it's going to do the nice gradient thing. I don't really want to pull it apart and unwind it because I got it nice. I just kind of want to leave it that way. But you can see that it goes from the green through to orangey reds. It's nice. I like it. And I'm done, so that makes me feel good. So what have I been working on? Finishing up all those things that I finished. The Twiga mitts were my most recent FO, and that only took me about a week to do, which is crazy that I got it done that fast. But that also included a weekend where I did nothing but knit because I had nothing else to do but knit, and that's fine. But I've been working on some other stuff too. And let's see, where am I going to start? I'm going to start with my Anna Karenina shawl. This one, it goes this way. I'm making some good progress. So I am just past my halfway point. I feel like it looks a little bit short, but I don't think it's going to be short when I'm done with it and when I block it, because I'm going to block it pretty aggressively, and the garter is going to open up like crazy. It's a little bit hard to see because it's not blocked, but down at the bottom it's got all these lovely little pointy things, little teeth, and those are really cute, and I'm enjoying the pattern on this. This is not a hard one to follow. I can knit this while I'm watching TV and I don't have to worry too much. I do have to keep my pattern open because it's a, I don't know, 12, 14, 16 something row repeat to get the end bits. I don't have that memorized, so I am crossing that off as I go. But it's not something that I have to concentrate so hard on this that I can't pay attention to a TV show or something in the background. The yarn I'm using is from Bugbear Woolens. Guys, I'm having such problems talking today. I don't know what's up with this. My mouth, blah. Right, so it's from Bugbear Woolens. And I don't remember the color. I'll have to try and get that. You know what? When I edit, I'll put it down here because that's what I do. And it's this really pretty purpley wine blue variegated color. I really like it. I'm not sure yet if it's going to be for me or if it's going to end up finding a home with someone else. I kind of like it. I think I'll see when it's done. I'll try putting it on and styling it. It's the same thing as the cowl. I live somewhere that's warm, so I don't wear a lot of shawls. But maybe that's something that I need to just make a point of doing, is wearing my shawls. But at the same time, my mom and my sister both super appreciate shawls, so I don't mind giving them some. Anyway, this is Anna Karenina by Kino Knits, and I'm having fun with it. The next thing I'm working on is something that I actually need to try on today before I knit any more on it. I am knitting on my Summer Ease tank. Ta-da! And this is the Honeymoon Sock Base by Dana of Unwind in the Without a Paddle colorway. I've joined the shoulders and I'm working my way down the body. You've got my little stitch marker here from Tilted Planet, and it's all living in my project bag from the Project Bag 35, Tiffany. She's awesome. And Dana is awesome. And the pattern is by Tyga Hilliard. The pattern is called Summer Ease, and Tyga is awesome too. So this is just made from a whole bunch of awesome people. But what I need to do is try it on and see where it's hitting me, because when I'm holding it up, I may actually be done knitting the body, because I still have like the bottom band to put on, so I may be at the point where I need to put that on. But I need to try it on and see. But I've been working on that, so you can see the progress that I've made, and that second little one is just how much I knit. I guess it was Saturday that I've worked on this some, which is not a whole lot, a little bit more than half an inch, but I've done all of that since the last time I podcasted, so that is getting some good work on it, and I'm hoping that I'll get it done shortly for the Into the Wool knit along, but we'll talk about that later. What else am I working on? I've been working on NICU noggins, speaking of Into the Wool, and so a couple months back, Jim's friend's wife's grandmother passed away, and she had a bunch of yarn, and they asked if I would like it, and I said, yes, please, thank you. And so I'm working my way through her acrylic, because it was mostly acrylic, which is great, because it's good for charity projects. So I'm knitting a whole bunch of little NICU noggins, so just little teeny baby caps. So this one has just a blue border and some blue and cream camo. This one has, you can't even see the actual insane brightness of this. I may have showed this last time, but I did another. I've actually done a couple of these because it's so cute and bright. The crazy day glow orange, and then the super bright fluorescent variegated. Love that. And then I had some more variegated in fluorescent, but this was a little bit more toned down, blues and yellows and greens with just a tealy band. And so I've got that style as well. So I'm just using a bunch of these yarns that I didn't have to buy, but are taking up space in my my craft room, the upstairs room, the red room. I still haven't really figured out what to call that space, but that's where I keep my yarn. but I'd really like to cull the stash. You know, use up a bunch of it if I can. I'll probably, the nicer stuff I'll take to the Into the Wool fiber retreat and put on the Free to a Good Home table. See how that goes. But that is what I've been knitting. Oh, but I've been spinning. Let me go get that. Okay, so my last whip is a spinning whip, because after I finished the Moroccan Medina Bullseye Bump, I started on some other stuff. So this is some BFL nylon blend from Unwind Yarn Company in the colorway How Far I'll Go, which is a Moana reference. At least I assume it is. And I'm really liking it. This one I'm doing at my usual much finer gauge or finer spin than the Moroccan Medina. So nice and light. So I've got 2 bobbins worth, and I've got 1 more bobbin that I've started. And the plan is to have these all ready to ply together into a 3-ply that will be good for shawl, socks, something like that. I mean, BFL nylon, that stuff's gonna stand up pretty well, so that might end up being a pair of socks depending on what the yarn turns out like. But I'm really enjoying spinning this. It's nice. I've tried to make a point of spinning almost every day, and it's working well for me, I think. So I've actually brought my spinning wheel down to the living room, and I will spin a little bit in the evenings. I would love to be able to spin in the mornings, but I just can't get my act together in the morning. I'm not a morning person. But that's what I've been working on. So I shopped. But I couldn't resist the sales, man. Oh, the sales. Okay, so first I got the yarn for the Twiga mitts, and then I loved them so much that I decided what I was going to do was make myself a matching hat and a matching scarf. So I bought more, and then Mary mentioned that there are others in the series, and I'm changing my mind, and I think I'm going to just knit the whole series and then go from there and see what I've got. But I've got more of the yarn. But my LYS was having a sale, sort of her end of summer blowout, where everything was on sale, and it was amazing prices. So I got both of these, and I also got some Cascade 128 Super Wash in color 117 and color 1958. So this is 117 and 1958. But I like the 2 of these together, and I'm actually going to probably do another undertone cowl, but instead of doing it in fingering weight, I'm going to do it in this bulky. And I think this is going to be really nice for my mom. The blue is really her color, and she likes this sort of shade as well. And I actually had bought some of this previously, like in March, I guess, when they were here visiting, to make her a hat, because she picked this out and wanted a hat. So now I'm going to have a matching cowl to go with it, but she doesn't know it yet. Well, I guess she will after she watches this. So hi, Mom, you're going to get a cowl to go with your hat, which I haven't knit yet either, but it's not winter, so it's fine. The other thing that I ended up picking up was some silky alpaca lace from Classic Elite Yarns. And does it have a colorway? Color 22468. But it's sort of an autumny, orangey, greeny colors. And this I'm planning to use to knit another version of the Awaken shawl that I designed a couple months ago. And if you said you were going to test knit for me, thank you so much. I still haven't finished writing it out. I'm so sorry. But I haven't forgotten about you. I just haven't had a chance to finish writing it up. I really want to go through it again. I made some changes mentally and on paper, but I didn't pull out the shawl that I'd done. So I want to go through it with another skein and like re-knit it and make sure that the changes I made really do work before sending it out to you and having you get stuck, because that would suck. So there was that. And then Sunday night was the last day of the sale. My it's the 75th birthday or anniversary for Joann's stores, and so they had some really good deals on yarn. like buy one, get one 75% off. So I went and picked up some of this. The Deborah Norville Everyday, the super soft anti-pilling acrylic. This one is in the color Royal Blue because I love using this to make this sweater. I've made 4 of this Easy All Year cardigan by Tyga Hilliard, and 3 of them have been using this everyday yarn, and I love these things. This green one I am living in right now at home because it's cold in the house because the air conditioning's running, and apparently I'm the only one who isn't hot all the time. I'm cold all the time. So we keep the house appropriate for everyone else who lives here, and I just put on sweaters, which is fine. I'm not complaining, but that's why I'm living in a sweater in the middle of August when it's crazy hot. But I got enough of this in the royal blue color to make myself another one. And the reason I went with the royal blue is that at work I wear royal blue scrubs, and so I think this would be really nice to make something that is not just a hooded sweatshirt to have sitting around the office so I can put it on when I get cold, because they keep it really cold there too. I mean, it's a medical office. They're supposed to keep it cold, but it's cold. So yeah, that is what I bought. Okay, so let's talk about knit-alongs because I'm participating in several, and then I'm running the one. So as far as knit-alongs go that I'm participating in, I am technically, well, I'm sort of doing Stash Dash. I'm sucking at it this year, guys. Right now, I've got just over 4,000 meters. What's up with that? The last 2 years, I've had 15,000 meters. I don't know. Well, I know part of what it is. Part of it is that I haven't counted any yardage for these mini NICU noggins. So any of those that I've done aren't counting in anything. And then a bunch of stuff is just not quite finished yet. I need to finish my Anna Karenina. I need to finish my Summer Ease. I need to finish the Gemma blanket that I started forever ago and I sort of put down because I lost my crochet mojo, but I need to pick that back up. Yeah, I just need to finish stuff. But whatever, it's not a competition with anyone but yourself. But I'm losing to last year's me. I'm sad. Anyway, I'm also doing the Into the Wool Spotlight knit-along, where you knit using products from their sponsors. So that's what the Anna Karenina shawl counts towards. The pattern is by Mary of Kino Knits, who is one of the sponsors. The Summer Ease shawl is going to count for a bunch of points because Tyga Hilliard, the designer, is one of the sponsors, and Dana of Unwind is a sponsor, and Tiffany the Project Bag is a sponsor, and Tilted Planet, who had the little stitch marker, is a sponsor. So it'll get me a lot of points if I get it done. So yeah, I need to finish a bunch of stuff. But that brings me to the next little bit, which is my knit-along, the Sock It To Me knit-along. Please keep posting your socks. This is going to go indefinitely as long as I keep having prizes to give to you. I'm going to give stuff to you. So this week I'm going to be giving away a version of this lovely tool. This is, what did I call it? The gauge tool. And this one is a prototype because I can't find any of the finished ones. So the winner will get an actual real finished version in their choice of colors, which I'll show you in a minute. But this has a 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, and 4 inch increments in 2 directions. So you can lay this on top of your knitting, whatever your knitting happens to be, and be able to measure your gauge. I mean, it's nothing too fancy, but it's handy. It's handy to have something, especially having all the different sizes, because you don't always knit like a 5-inch swatch so you can get 4 inches. You should, but I don't. Sometimes I use this little 1 inch, and it's from the top here to the bottom edge here that is 1 inch. So top edge to the bottom is 2, and from the side to the far side. So this is going to go to this week's lucky winner, and this is something that my husband, Jim, 3D prints in his shop, and it comes in whatever color you'd like. I'm going to show you our colors. We have pink, we have gray, we have yellow, excuse me, we've got blue, we have black, we have white, orange, green, or red. So those are your options. Excuse me. So let me just pull up the random.org and also the thread to see what we've got. So we've got 30, holy cow, 30 finished socks in the thing. The thread. It's been a long, long day, folks. So I'm going to do from, let's turn this away so we can all see. We've got random.org, and we're going to go between 2 and 30. And our result is 9. So let me see, who's number 9? Number 9 is on the first page. So let me go back to the first page. I know, it's so exciting to see me scroll through stuff. Number 9 is Nicole. Nicole's knit a lot of socks. Good job, Nicole. So if you'll just get in touch with me and let me know which of our colors you want for your gauge tool, I will get that printed and I'll get it sent off. And I actually haven't sent off your yarn yet, so I will send them both off together. So I think that wraps it up for today. I have no idea if this was a short episode, a long episode. It just all sort of blurred together. But I hope you enjoyed seeing what I'm working on, what I've finished, and hearing a little bit about my shopping excesses. I don't think I'll do a whole lot more shopping before Into the Wool, just so you know. I say that every time and I end up going and getting something. But I'm going to try not to because I don't need a whole bunch of yarn. And the dogs are summoning me to go outside, so I'm going to let you go with that. Take care. See you next time.